to Monster Men.
Arrgh!
Nice. Give me a fist bump for that.
That's straight from Naples, Italy.
My Naples are hard. Naples are what Italians have.
How do you say headlights in Italian?
Naples. Okay, so today's topic is something that we're probably going to do more often. Is half the stuff that we watch is on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought what we do is review a bunch of stuff that we've watched on Netflix and recommend it to you because it's a minefield as far as if you pop on A Haunting in Salem and waste an hour and a half of your time.
The Bell Witch thing.
Yeah.
Because we'll be watching Netflix movies when this is done.
Yes. So this is our Netflix 2014 early preseason. Whatever.
Netflix nose picks.
I like that.
Hey.
Netflix nose picks.
Say that 10 times.
I'm going to put a special effect in there. Post.
Swish.
Okay, you want to start? You want me to start?
Oh, you know what? You mentioned this movie in our top 13 movies of 2013. You gave a quick mention to A Kiss of the Damned, which is a modern vampire flick with a 70s kind of feel.
The guy from Heroes is in it.
Is that where he's... Oh, yeah, that's right. Ventimiglia or whatever.
He was Peter, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's also, if you saw, what was that mob show on TNT recently? He's on that.
Not the one with... Oh, no, that was AMC. I'm thinking the one with Shane.
AMC, that.
The one with Shane from Walking
Yes,
Dead.
he's in that too. He plays the... oh, we lost our photo.
All right, no signal. I watched this movie with my wife who kept going, is this a porno movie?
It's a little bit erotic. I'm going to give you that.
A little bit erotic. It's a lot erotic.
I like this movie because it was a retro vampire. It felt like a 70s vampire movie. But, like, where the Hammer movies sort of... They had plunging necklines and suggested... This kind of showed it to you.
No necklines.
Hot vampire chicks.
Boobies.
Brutal kills. Not the best movie. Maybe a little pacing issues. But,
Pacing issues are definitely...
But I enjoyed it. I'd seen the trailer for this and couldn't wait. It was one of those ones that when it popped up on Netflix, I was like, yes!
Yeah.
There it is!
Yeah, I kept watching this movie and I was like, oh, I kind of like this movie. And then I look over, my wife was giving me like the stink eye, like, why are you making me watch this? So it kind of ruined the moment. But I did like it. I thought it was like a cool flick.
The ending it's a little bit in that there's not sort of a final confrontation. Just sort of stuff happens.
It's just kind of...
That
it ends.
But I would worth it. Especially if you have Netflix. There's so much crap. And that one doesn't seem to pop up on my thumbnail choices. Like sometimes on Netflix you have to actually put in the name of a movie.
Right.
That one you have to put in. I never see like just the cover.
Oh yeah, that doesn't... Yeah, that's a cool movie though. And again, it's a cover. It's a very retro 70s kind of cheesy grindhouse cover. It's cool.
Now another vampire movie that I don't know if I would actually recommend this, but we need to talk about it. Is Dario Argento's Dracula, which for me, that one's popping up all the time because it's a new release. It was a 3D movie.
Oh, did that explain it?
Yeah, so some of it. Now, the guy who plays Van Helsing in the TV show Dracula right now on NBC, which I quit watching, is actually the guy who plays Dracula in this.
Oh, really?
And he's in two piss poor Dracula.
Oh my god.
This movie is a train wreck.
It's full, loaded with CGI. That would make a sci-fi movie CGI look great.
Yes. This looks like a kid in college working on, hey, look at what I can do with my computer now.
Yeah. It is maybe one of the worst interpretations of Dracula.
But along the lines of Kiss of the Damned, booby-wise, I would give this movie 5 stars, 2 thumbs up.
The best boobies you are going to see.
Talk about Naples.
But here's the disturbing thing. His daughter, Aja...
Who's in, what is it, the zombie movie.
Oh, yeah, The Land of the Dead.
Land of the Dead.
She's in this, and her father is shooting scenes with her very naked.
Totally, yeah.
I have daughters. You couldn't even conceive of doing this, but I guess I'm not Italian.
I don't get this guy, Dario Argento, is supposed to be this big horror master. And this thing, sci-fi, ice spiders on frickin' Sci-Fi Channel has better special effects than this thing.
But if you...
It does have Rutger Hauer as Van Helsing.
It has Rutger Hauer, and it has gravity-defying boobs.
Yes.
So, And I kept thinking, is he sleeping with this blonde girl with this incredible rack, and this is like the movie he wanted to give her as a gift?
She was the gift to us.
Exactly. So, if you've got nothing to do, if you're paralyzed, if you have a kidney stone and you can't get off the couch, this is the movie to watch, right?
Yes.
I'm going to pick one that was really good, Sightseers, which is this quirky British on-the-road movie with these two people that are kind of like everyday, maybe sub-everyday kind of schlubby man and woman, and they go in a caravan to go on this little vacation together, and somewhere along the line, turns out the guy's a murderer.
In our last episode, I mentioned taking material and either being funny with it or being serious with it. This is British humor, so it takes a certain mindset to watch it. But if you took the same movie and made it serious,
that'd be horrible.
Yeah, it would be so. But this is a lighthearted story, and the ending is great. But the progression of he's a killer, and then she sort of starts to embrace it.
Please him.
Yeah, like she embraces it and starts to play along. But because there's an element of humor to it, the whole movie works.
Yeah, no, really good movie.
Definitely worth. And this was on a lot of people's, like when I was looking at like people's lists of best movies from last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd see people like putting this on it. Then like I'd look at like Rotten Tomatoes, and it was mixed reviews. I think it's because it's a British humor.
Mm-hmm. It's dry, but it's really funny.
I equated it as Shaun of the Dead for serial killers.
And it's got a cool ending. Really funny ending.
The ending is great. The best part is the dog, though. The way the dog dies is the best.
Yeah, you gotta watch that movie. If we keep in Europe, Grabbers, which is put out by the Irish Film
Our
Council.
buddy Joe, Papa Joe, suggested this to us on our Facebook page, and I watched it.
Yep.
Then I saw that you had seen it. And
yeah, I watched it independently, just because to me, as an Irish guy, I'm going to watch any movie put out by Irish people, especially a movie that has a Cthulhu-type creature where the only way that you can not be killed by it is to be drunk. Like, blind drunk.
This movie, my expectations were here, and it turns out one of my favorite movies I've seen in the past 10 years.
Were you surprised how good the CGI was?
The CGI is great.
Right?
The CGI is great. The humor helps the movie because it is just, I think if you tried to make that movie seriously, it could have been fine. But making it a comedy, but it still takes the subject matter seriously enough that
enough where you get nervous about the different characters and stuff. And it has good tension and stuff.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. So Joe's a big Irish guy too, so he was like, look, if you're looking for a fun movie, and he was like, basically was like, look, I'm Irish, I'm a sucker like you for anything Irish. I'm Italian, but people say I'm more Irish than Italian.
Come over to our side.
I'm honorary Irish.
Exactly.
If anybody who knows me, but these monsters won't attack you if you're drunk because of the alcohol in your blood, which just opens the door for hilarity.
Oh yeah.
So Grabbers is
grab Grabbers while you can. Grab it. All right, now we're gonna go to the United States. What do you think we hit Amber Heard's movie, who's now Johnny Depp's soon-to-be wife?
First of all,
half his age.
Okay, all the boys love Mandy Lane. I've been hearing about this movie for years.
I think it was made in 2006 or 7 or. I mean, it's been around a long time.
I saw the trailer. As the Monster Men, I'm always posting stuff on our Facebook page of trailers of stuff, and I must have posted this thing like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. I love Amber Heard. If you had to tell me like my top 10 Hollywood chicks on my to-do list, Amber Heard, oh my god, I love her.
She's way cute.
I mean, just
she's so good looking that even women go, oh, she's really good looking.
Yeah, well, Johnny Depp converted her.
Yeah, that's right, because she's a bisexual with a girlfriend.
So when All the Boys Love Mandy Lane shows up on Netflix, another one of those, yay, thank you, finally Netflix. I watched it like the minute it came on. And for me, it felt like I was back in high school, and this was one of those movies I rented.
Yep.
And it felt like an 80s slasher movie.
It was even sometimes, the way it was shot and the music was very 80s, sometimes a little late 70s, but it was definitely a throwback kind of flick.
Yeah, and then the ending had one of those
wicked
80s,
ending. I thought it was very cool. I thought she was good. I could see why everybody wanted her.
I, being one of the boys, love Mandy Lane. I also loved her friends.
That's a good movie with good bloody. It's got a good body blood count thing. A lot of plasma. A lot of plasma.
Plasma.
I like
Dog plasma. So I would watch that again. There's a lot of Drek on Netflix. This one's worth a good look.
Yeah, it's not Drek.
But watch it in the spirit of this was a movie that reminiscent of the good old days.
And when you watch it again, even though there's no big jokes in it, it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
The makers are in on the joke, so they understand it. It's kind of cool.
And if nothing else, turn off the sound and look at Amber Heard.
All right, what do you got next? Hit me with one.
Um,
Hit me.
I watched Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters.
Is that the guy from the Hurt Locker?
Yeah, Jeremy Renner.
I want to see that.
This movie surprised the hell out of me because I saw the trailers for when it came out in the theater, and it looks stupid. It looks like Van Helsing with witches. So I was like, I'll wait for cable or whatever. Comes on Netflix, and during one of the snowstorms.
One of the 7 or 8 snowstorms.
40 million snowstorms. It was like the frickin' Shining or the Thing around here. I was sitting there with my flamethrower. It was like
with your blood in a little petri dish. Yeah, heating it up.
So I watched it. Like I shoveled the driveway, and I'm like working from home. So I was like, I'll pop on this.
Right.
It's a great Netflix kind of movie. Like I'm glad I didn't spend money on it. It's not like a great movie, but it's like fun brain candy kind of movie.
That's good.
But the thing that surprised me, the F-bombs in this movie are flying like...
I was going to take my youngest daughter to see this when it came out.
Oh my god, dude. The first thing, like it starts off with Hansel and Gretel as kids. Then when they grow up. The first time you see Gretel as a grown-up,
right,
the first thing she says is like, effing witches. Like, they drop F-bombs. It's rated R. I didn't realize this.
I didn't either.
So, the weird thing about it is, I thought it was going to be like a movie for like kids.
Right.
Like trying to, like almost like a Van Helsing thing. And instead, it almost tried to take itself too seriously for the look and feel of it.
Really?
Like the guy from 8mm, who the German guy, is in everything.
Oh my god, yeah.
He's like one of the guys in it. Famke Jensen or whatever.
Oh my god, fresh off another surgery.
She's the main witch. The girl who plays Gretel, I forgot her name. She's a hottie. Jeremy Renner just is going through the motions. He's Hawkeye, but he's it's fun. It's a good Netflix movie though. It's higher caliber than the Drek that's on there, but just if don't expect a lot. But again, the F-bombs is what.
Wow. All right. Well, it's on my queue. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna gather the kids around. Hey, come on, kids! Let's watch a nice R-rated movie.
I call it Hansel and effing Gretel.
Here's a movie, and I know you talked to me about this, and you haven't seen it yet. Pontypool.
Oh, the zombie movie.
Pontypool. It's phenomenal. William McHattie is in it. He's a DJ who is doing this local, show, morning show, and the radio station's in a church, and you're getting everything from the news reports coming in and people calling into the show. So you're not seeing what's going on, and they're not believing what's happening. And the way that the virus is transmitted to make people zombies is freaking ingenious. Nobody has ever conceived of this before, and probably ever will again, of coming up with something so original.
I saw the movie on the Netflix previews. But
it's got a bad cover.
It's got a bad cover, and there's so many other zombie movies that are crap on there.
Yeah, you
get
really reticent.
And the name Pontypool just isn't a good name.
That's the name of the town.
Oh, is
where
it?
It's taking place.
So
yes.
It doesn't grab you.
Yeah.
Then I start reading articles, and I'm like, oh, people are rating this on their top 10 movies.
It's probably it's in the top 5 of zombie movies, I'd put it.
Yeah, so
the whole time.
So it's on the next movie I watch on Netflix will be...
You gotta watch Pontypool. Great movie. One I just saw, it's a remake. It's a foreign remake of a foreign movie called Come Out and Play.
It's not warriors, come out and play.
Yeah, exactly. There's no bottles. It's in Mexico, and it's this guy and his woman who's 7 months pregnant. She's about to have her baby, and they're having their last vacation before she has her third child. She was the little girl from Hocus... Not the little girl, not Thora Birch, but the older daughter from Hocus Pocus.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I love Hocus Pocus.
Her face has not changed at all.
So, quick aside.
Yes.
I Put a Spell on You from Hocus Pocus. One of the best remakes of a song ever. So long.
It's Bette Midler.
And I lived in Salem for a while, so I appreciate that movie.
They go to this island off of Mexico that just had a carnival. And when they get there, there's nobody around except little kids. And it turns out for some reason, the night before at 11 o'clock, the kids all woke up at the same time in agony, then started laughing, and then started murdering every adult there. Brutally.
What?
And there's no explanation as to why they do it. But the cool thing is, it makes sense because if little 7, 5, and 4-year-olds are coming at you to kill you, you're not going to kill them.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they were able to take over the whole island, is every adult didn't have it in them to do harm to these kids.
So mental note, 7-year-olds coming at you with a knife?
Kill them right away. You know, there were some things towards the end where, you know, things happen with... I don't want to spoil it for you, but the main guy does something in the end that just defies logic. And then the end is kind of hokey and crazy, but leading up, it's a decent movie. It's better than I thought it would be, because I kept seeing it in Redbox too, and I was like going,
I never even heard of it. I just wrote it down.
Yeah, I didn't know. It looked like a crap movie, but it actually was good. If you watch it on Netflix, it has the worst subtitles ever, because it will say soft music and moaning, and then the guy speaks in Spanish, and it gives you Spanish subtitles, and then it's does some English, and then it will say foreign language.
Wow.
It has to be seen. I liked it. My wife, I said, worst subtitling ever. I don't know what drugs they were on when they were subtitling this thing, but it was terrible. But the movie itself was good, so despite the horrible subtitles...
That's why this is a good episode, because I never would have even... I don't even remember seeing this thumbnail, so... Yeah,
it's if you go and... it just popped up recently in the horror thing. Another one that just popped up recently is The Seasoning House. This is a tough movie to watch. It's set in, like... They don't even say. I think it's Chechnya or something like that. It's this war-torn nation, and this guy owns this whorehouse where guys can come in there and just beat these girls to death and then have sex with their corpses or whatever. And it centers around one girl who's a deaf mute who the pimp kind of takes on, and she shoots the girls up with heroin and cleans them up for the next guy to come and beat them up and stuff. So
what's this called?
The Seasoning House. So the first half of the movie is just, you know, you see, then this girl is going through the crawl spaces of the house to, like, you know, check on girls and stuff. And these girls are all bloody and chained to beds and just must stink and are disgusting. And, like, you know, one girl has a broken pelvis and the guy still wants to bang her. It's just... So, like, the first hour, you just sit there, like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like,
why am I laughing so hard at this?
The first hour is just horrible, and then the second, you know, the last half hour, the girl kind of takes over, and then it gets kind of ridiculous.
That's sort of the feel-good movie.
Oh my god, it's shot in, like, just like gray and dark browns, and it's just it's bleak as hell.
Well, it sounds like...
But dude, you gotta watch it.
Horror fan, it's worth watching.
Any movie that makes me and my wife, who are horror freaking fanatics, just kind of like want to turn away.
If you read any of his books, read Evil Eternal, and then realize he's reacting to this, because some of the scenes this guy writes. I've been on airplanes reading his books, and I'm laughing, because I know him. And I'm reading this stuff going, this is freaking great, but it's sick.
Right, and this movie made me cringe.
So if he's cringing...
I was cringing big time. That just creeped me out. Now you saw... Did you see The Awakening?
No.
Oh, you didn't see that ghost movie set in like a British...
no, Rebecca Hall's
board
right?
school?
Our buddy Jamie Evans recommended that, so I want to...
That's a good ghost movie.
Look up horror author Jamie Evans, by the way.
Yes. Right after this, go look him right up.
He recommended this, and it's been one of those ones I've been looking at I love Rebecca Hall. She's in Iron Man 3. She's in The Town.
Yeah. No.
So she's a good actress.
Good acting.
Easy on the eyes.
Good story. Held together to the very end.
So you liked it?
It's got like that kind of The Others kind of creepy vibe to it through the whole thing. I thought it was one of the best ghost movies I've seen in a long time.
Cool.
Professionally done.
I saw a documentary about the Amityville Horror.
Oh, yeah.
The real story, Amityville Horror. It's only 45 minutes long or something like that. One of the best Amityville Horror things I've seen. Don't watch the one with about the guy who grew up in the house. That's crap. My Amityville Horror.
Right.
This is like a bio channel kind of documentary.
Oh, good.
And it shows sort of the ghost side and sort of the police side. And like, so there's people who think it's real and people who don't.
Right.
And so it's the most factual account of the Amityville Horror
awesome.
of all things I've seen. And like I said, it's only 45 minutes long, so you can eat lunch and watch
Does it center on the whole family or just particular kids in the family, or
it's more just almost an account of the entire thing.
An objective view
it
of the
doesn't
whole
zoom
thing.
in on any person, but you do get in. You know the news team that went in there when the Warrens were doing their investigation? Yes. They interview the guy from the news.
Oh, wow.
who talks about that night. And like he's like, nothing supernatural happened. And so they present like the supernatural side and the side of nothing happened.
Yeah, we should call Amityville Horror cash grab.
Yes.
So,
So
I think that's the approach.
I watched that and I was like, okay. And another thing that I'm watching that if you're a horror fan, you should probably check out. I just finished season 5 of Dexter.
Oh yeah.
And that I hear that I think there's
people hated the last episode.
Yeah, supposedly the last episode. But let me tell you something. Season 4 with John Lithgow is one of the best seasons of television you're going to watch.
That's where I stopped.
Me too. So I just picked up.
In fact, I have it over here somewhere.
Well, it's all on Netflix now.
There we go. I have Dexter 4th season right here.
There you go. So I just watched 5th season, which has Juliet. What's her name? Blonde girl from
Delpy?
No, I forget her name.
Lewis?
Not Julie. Julie something.
Julie Benz?
No, she.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so I'm working my way through Dexter, but it was one of those ones I was like, you know what? For all the crap horror movies if you don't want to waste your time, Dexter is worth your investment in time.
Yes.
So I would watch Dexter. What else?
I think we hit them all, man.
We do, and then in our last episode we mentioned American Mary and Frankenstein Theory are also two you should check out. But watch our last episode to get reviews on them.
And if you if you want a good Spanish horror movie, Penumbra, which is the guy who did Here Comes the Devil.
Or Rambach, the Berlin Dead. That's
Rambach, Berlin Dead, and it's only an hour and 6 minutes or something ridiculous like that.
So we already talked about them in the past episode, that one. But what was the one you said?
Penumbra, which is about a girl who's trying to sell her apartment, and there's a cult that takes the apartment who's into the eclipse of the sun. It's just strange. And it doesn't take itself too seriously. Again, that's a theme.
There's other good horror movies on Netflix that we've mentioned in past episodes, so we got to cut this one off here.
Yes, good lord.
So this is enough for you.
Yeah.
Here.
We're done.
We're done?
Yes.
So, good job. On to the next. See you next time on
Monster Men.